in the UK Premier League. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. 5 people have died and more than 400 households at Kisaka Ward in Serengeti District, Mara region, face the threat of food shortage after their crops were destroyed by floods caused by the ongoing heavy rains. At Kisaka Ward, destroyed crops can be seen in various villages, with some residents drying out the last remains of stored food. The District Commissioner of Serengeti District, Nuruddin Babu, has said that the government is conducting an assessment on destruction caused on the crops by the rains.
All food has been lost in the floods. We've absolutely nothing. We've spoken about contributing toward the construction of a police station and secondary school. We're asking for help. I'm all alone. People have been affected so much. There is no food and villagers depend on the valley for farming. But through the valley, they are also able to sell produce and take their children to school. 520 homesteads have been affected. We've lost 5 people in Serengeti. Food too has been lost in the water. However, I've sent some of my people to go and carry out an evaluation on how much food has been lost so we can decide how to help them.
Wa idara ya kilimo kwenda kuhakikisha kufanya tathmini ni kiasi gani cha mazao ambayo yamechukuliwa na maji.
Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has said by December 2019, construction of the standard gauge railway from Dar es Salaam to Morogoro had reached 300 kilometers, which is 70% of the project. Winding up the 18th Parliament meeting in Dodoma, Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa said that the standard gauge railway was among achievements implemented by the government budget approved by Parliament during the period of July to December 2019. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa mentioned other achievements as construction of the Julius Nyerere Power Project, the Rural Energy Project, where 8,236 out of 12,268 villages on Tanzania mainland have been connected with electricity, inauguration of Terminal 3 building at Julius Nyerere International Airport, and construction of Ubongo Interchange.
Honorable Speaker, the growth in the economy has contributed to the increase in production of formal and non-formal sectors, enabling the government to collect more revenue. In July to December 2019, 1.52 trillion shillings per month was collected compared to 1.3 trillion shillings in 2018.
10 people have been injured, 2 of them sustaining serious injuries after a bus belonging to Premier Company collided into a lorry at Jarajani village in Nyala Ward in Mbeya region. The accident occurred at 7 in the morning when the bus traveling from Mbeya to Mwanza crashed into the lorry carrying a cargo of soap on its way to Zambia from Dar es Salaam.
The bus crashed against a heavy goods vehicle, meaning the speed was high. The bus was ripped off on the driver's side. When we came to, the vehicle had come to a stop. We've received 10 casualties. There was no case of fatalities and all have been attended to.
The landing gate of MV Tegemeo, which provides services to residents from Maisome, Kahunda in Buchosa district and Mkome in Geita district was today engulfed with water, causing passengers to tread water to board and get off the ferry due to increase in water depth of Lake Victoria. Mwanza Region Commissioner John Mongela has directed Tanzania Electrical, Mechanical and Electronic Services Agency TAMESA to work day and night in order to address the problem. We are grateful that you have come to witness this problem on your own. We are indeed suffering, especially rush hours, and the lake here has crocodiles and hippopotamus waiting for us. Honorable Regional Commissioner, please help us take this matter into urgency. As what you have said earlier, these rains are unpredictable. What are we going to do if it continues to pour? It will be a ridiculous government if we will not face challenges ahead of us. It is important to abide to a schedule that has been formulated. Meanwhile, TAMESA has brought engineers to find out what could be done immediately to maintain safety of boarding and off-boarding the ferry.
Ushukaji na upandaji kwenye kivuko uwe rahisi zaidi na salama. Kwa hiyo nalifanyia kazi hilo zoezi.
Tanzania National Parks TANAPA has taken 17 lions to Burigi Chato National Park in Biharamulo District, Kagera Region, after losing several of the animals due to illegal poaching by nationals from neighboring countries who invade the areas to look for grazing areas for their livestock.
Sisi kama wizara kupitia shirika la hifadhi ya taifa TANAPA tutahakikisha kwamba wanyama wanaohitajika.
As a ministry through Tanzania National Parks Authority TANAPA, we will ensure that animals that are needed are brought. Honorable Regional Commissioner, the lions that were brought are just the beginning of the plan of bringing more animals, and I assure you that the Big Five group of tourists will all reach here to see these animals. These areas were full of criminal evidences. Nobody could pass around without police escort. Between 2010 to 2012, more than 120 armed criminal incidences occurred around these areas. Transforming this area to an economical zone through reserve and tourism, it is a historical achievement. The National Electoral Commission has said participation of various stakeholders in providing public education on upgrading of the voters' registrar has contributed to raise awareness on the importance of updating their information. This was said in Dar es Salaam by the Director of Electoral Commission, Wilson Mahera, during a meeting with election stakeholders.
Uboreshaji maana yake nini? Ni kwamba tunataka watu wenye umri wa miaka 18 ambao hawamo kwenye.
We want everyone above 18 not yet registered to go and register. The aim of doing this is to serve those who have lost their voters' ID cards, but there are those whose cards were printed with wrong information. They should also go and register.
Tunatambua kwamba mchakato huu ni mchakato wa kisheria.
All this has been done to create a better nation abiding in the law and justice.
Singi bado tunahitaji kupata kama elimu.
There is a need to educate the general public about the importance of voting and civic studies, which is important for self-actualization.
Au babu yako amezaliwa Tanzania, lakini wewe sio raia wa Tanzania.
And Tanzania has advised Ethiopia to take deliberate measures to investigate factors resulting in citizens leaving their country without following procedures and entering other countries illegally, a situation that has led to an increase in the number of illegal immigrants in countries such as Tanzania. The statement was made by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Professor Palamagamba Kabudi, in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, during a meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs from Ethiopia on the sidelines of the 33 heads of state and government AU summit.
foreign minister have thanked the government of Tanzania for its steadfast cooperation and support in repatriating the Ethiopians who are in Tanzania, and they have also discussed ways and means to further cooperate in this issue so that Ethiopians will be comfortably repatriated to their country. Also, the Ethiopian government is trying to address the issue for the root causes of the issues of this migration. But the Ethiopian government, for now, have thanked the government of Tanzania for its support and understanding and for its commitment in repatriating the Ethiopians.
Katika mazungumzo yetu tumekubaliana kwamba kuna umuhimu sasa wa kuchukua hatua za pamoja.
In our decisions, we have seen that it is important to take collective measures in deporting over 1,300 Ethiopians back to their country, with means that both countries will agree upon. We have also asked the government of Ethiopia to combat the recurring scenarios of Ethiopian illegal immigrants.
Linachukuliwa hatua ili tusiwe tena na mrundikano wa wahamiaji haramu wengine ndani ya Tanzania.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows next. And in international news, with the number of deaths caused by the coronavirus in China reaching to 600, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Kenya has said that it has no plans to return Kenyans in China. The government of Kenya has said there are no confirmed cases of the coronavirus, despite 7 people being suspected to have coronavirus-like symptoms.
To date, we wish to confirm to the public that Kenya has not had any confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus. The government of Kenya advises Kenyans in China not on essential business travel to consider returning home. The government continues to maintain a heightened surveillance system at all points of entry, health facilities, and communities across the country. So far, the ministry, through its surveillance system, has been able to pick 7 suspected cases who have all tested negative for the coronavirus. Further, the government has put in place the following interventions. 1, in respect of governance, we have adopted a whole government and multi-agency approach at 2 levels. 1 is a policy level, the other is a technical level.
And let's not create an impression that most countries have evacuated. In fact, it's a small minority of countries that have evacuated. The majority of countries have recognized that the best possible option under the current circumstances might be indeed to remain where everybody is to avoid any challenges that might transpire in the process of evacuation. Let us not forget that in some of the countries that have evacuated, the infections that have happened in their countries have come as a result of evacuations. So evacuations is not something you do willy-nilly. It is something that is done under serious and considered thought that has been put to the entire process.
The president of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, has downplayed the coronavirus outbreak, saying the government will put measures in place to fight the deadly virus. He said he's optimistic that China will contain the outbreak of the coronavirus and eventually wipe out, and has called on Ugandans in China to remain there, as the Chinese government has put in place mechanisms to contain and prevent the transmission of the disease.
Yesterday, Botswana had a long meeting with the people of health. But I think it's not all that serious. It's not as serious as AIDS. The Minister of Health will announce how to handle it. We are going to send ground sprayers to base themselves in Moroto, and aircraft to be ready to intervene if the locusts enter Uganda from Kenya.
And some members of parliament in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo have called for investigation into ongoing killings in North Kivu region, Beni and Ituri, Dugu. Some members of parliament have called on the formulation of a special committee that will bring answers to ongoing killings in North Kivu and Ituri, because it is important to find out who is behind the murders. The killings have been ongoing for 3 years now. Unfortunately, the kind of killings done are the same. We want to ask the Chief of Armed Forces what is he and his team lacking in combating these killings. Perhaps we can provide them with what they need to accomplish the exercise of ending these murders. And that is the end of international news. Business news follows shortly after this break. We'll be right back.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services. And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight. The government has entered into an agreement with World Customs Organization, WCO, to support Tanzania increase efficiency in business and revenue collection. The Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Philip Mpango, said that WCO has agreed to provide the country boats, cameras to be used inside containers and other equipment to track people involved in smuggling of goods.
Tumekubaliana hapa kwamba wataendelea kutusaidia kwa maana ya zana.
They've agreed to help us with boats to carry out investigation on those involved in the black market, but also for customs to blacklist them.
Political support, rest assured, for including acceptance of accession to revised Kyoto Convention, and also in terms of partnership. This is the second plea. He said that this is what he was longing for, and involving business for trade facilitation is really important, and also other government agencies. The regulatory framework is also very important, and of course beyond the borders.
More than 100 cashew-nut farmers in Nanyumbu district in Mtwara region have claimed that the government has not paid them for cashew-nuts both during the 2018-2019 season. Mtwara Region Commissioner Gelasius Biakanwa has said that their claims are being worked on.
Wilaya Nanyumbu imeonekana imefanya vizuri.
Nanyumbu district has performed well. However, Tandahimba and Newala, a lot of money is still owed.
Kwa bahati nzuri sana.
The region has statistics on how many farmers are owed, and this information has been passed on to the Minister of Agriculture.
Kilimo, na wito wangu kwa wananchi wale ambao hawajapokea malipo ni kwamba serikali inalijua jambo hili.
And Keds Tanzania Limited has launched a new powder detergent called Dofi, which will be distributed in the market and sold at affordable prices.
I think more than 1,000. This is what we have right now. And what we are doing, we're still doing the feasibility study, and we are going to invest more here in Tanzania.
Dofi, you can see this one. Right now, Dofi, even though we are 15 kg also, but right now we want to push this package one, the retail one, because I want every Tanzanian people, when he come home, he can use this one. It's not that he from market by the repacked one. Right now we are number one in the market. I think we have the responsibility to increase or change the market or customers' habit in their life. That is, we want to push Dofi. Right now, I think some of you know this price. When you or your wife, your husband to buy this one in the market is almost 2,000 shillings. But this one, we push here, okay? We push here. The price for 500 gram is only 1,000.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
And in sports news, Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has commended the captain of the national team, Bwana Samatta, for being the first Tanzanian to play in the UK Premier League after joining Aston Villa. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa gave the tribute when winding up the 18th Parliament meeting in Dodoma.
Imeendelea kuwa na mchango mkubwa kwenye pato la taifa na hata katika kutengeneza ajira.
Art and sports have continued to give a good contribution to government income, as well as create employment. For example, in 2012-2019, the arts sector contributed 0.29% national domestic growth. I would like to congratulate artists for the great contribution to our country and development in different sectors, including tourism. In sports, football has contributed to government income and create jobs to youth. I would like to congratulate Bwana Samatta for putting a record of the first Tanzanian to be registered and play in the Premier League. We wish him all the best.
Bwana Samatta kwa kuweka historia ya kuwa Mtanzania wa kwanza kusajiliwa na kucheza ligi kuu ya Uingereza katika klabu ya Aston Villa.
Defending champions of the Premier League, Simba Sports Club today lost its game against JKT Tanzania after being defeated 1-0 at the game played at Uhuru Stadium in Dar es Salaam.
Lengo letu ni kupata point 3 ambazo nadhani tutarejea.
Our aim is to get 3 points. I would like to congratulate the team for their performance. We plan to take control at the center because JKT is a good team. And we did just that and even more.
Kwa ujumla, Simba kama Simba.
Some Simba players are now playing below standard. I'm also not impressed with the new coach since there are no improvements since he joined the team.
Toka amekuja sijaona kama kuna improvement yoyote ile.
Pep Guardiola has played down suggestions that Lionel Messi could join him at Manchester City and believes the playmaker will end his glittering career at the Barcelona. Messi, 32, has penned his career with Barca but has a clause allowing him to leave for free this year. Guardiola coached Messi at the Nou Camp between 2008-2018, winning 3 La Ligas and 2 Champions Leagues. Guardiola left Barca for Bayern Munich, having become their most successful manager with 14 trophies in 4 seasons. And Naomi Osaka suffered a shock with 6-0, 6-3 loss at Sara Sorbes Tormo as Spain took a 2-0 lead in their Fed Cup quarter against Japan. Ex-number 1 Osaka lost her opening 10 points on a serve as Sorbes Tormo dominated in the opening set of the match at La Manga Club in Murica. The Japanese player led 2-0 in the second set, but Sorbes Tormo, ranked 78th in the world, fought back. And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.
You can watch Capital News live on our social media accounts, YouTube Capital TV and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania from Monday to Friday at 9:30 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe and put notification on.
Watu wenye ulemavu lakini